The idea of falling in love has always been the same in every generation. No matter how much time dates back, we've always had the end goal to find a partner to live the rest of our life with and maybe have some kids. And because of that, it was very easy to find a soulmate and share a life together. You often see older generations walking along the street, all wrinkly and shit, but happy. And when you hear the stories on how they got together, it sounds like it was out of a Disney movie. All it took was a cheesy pickup line at a cheap diner and they lived happily ever after. But even though the idea of love has stayed the same, the dating scene has changed. A lot. Especially in this generation, love feels impossible. There's been constant articles and voices calling out the struggles when it comes to dating today. Relationships has gotten infested with anxiety, commitment issues, hookups, all clumped together in Gen Z. So you might be asking, how did it go as simple as finding someone cute and getting married, to dealing with whatever emotional manipulation, trauma enduring bullshit that's going on now? Where did it all go wrong? There are actually a couple reasons for that. To start off, our generation has been introduced to technology and the internet. And because of that, we've been blessed with the ability to connect with anyone across the world with a little device in our pocket. And it's amazing at first because wow, you get to meet all these cool people online now. But this form of communication has taken over and even replaced simple in-person interactions. If you think about it, a lot of the things you did before require you to go in person and talk to someone, but now you could do majority of that online. Nowadays, you can order food online without an in-person interaction, work at a job or class without an in-person interaction, and find a boyfriend or girlfriend without needing an in-person interaction. As you can see on this graph here, it's become most common for couples to meet online, while other forms have been fizzling out. And the most common way people find a partner nowadays is through dating apps. Here's where the problem comes in. When you don't meet the person naturally through maybe a cafe or event or school, there's nothing to base them off of other than how they look on their profile. And this new way of finding love online has changed what's valued in a relationship. It's like a game now. You look at someone's dating profile and you look at their stats. Where do they work? What's their height? And especially, how do they look? It was very normal in the old days not to be attracted to a person you just met, but later on, after spending enough time with them, knowing their personality, you develop feelings and see them in an intimate way. And that doesn't happen anymore, as the fundamentals of dating are now solely based on the initial attraction you get. Looks are king, not personality, not ambition, not compatibility, but their appearance. And unfortunately, that removes a lot of good people from the dating scene because they may not be that conventionally attractive. And what happens when you choose a partner solely based on their physical appearance is where the second problem comes in. It turns out the relationship you got into, y'all weren't actually compatible. You know, this guy or girl is fine shit, but they're kind of a douchebag. Also, the relationship is toxic. This person's cheating, going out to clubs, and their phone keeps running out of battery. It eventually comes to an end, and you're out of the relationship all heartbroken and traumatized. That's what I noticed a lot with Gen Z. We've all been in not so great relationships before. But I also noticed people in our generation still decide to hop onto another relationship even when they're obviously not over the old one. It's not your fault if you've been through a toxic relationship, but it is your responsibility on how you deal with it. And while it's much easier to just hop onto something new and dump that baggage onto the next person, it's way more rewarding to heal, rebuild yourself, and when the right person comes, you're actually ready for them. It's amazing how far a relationship can go when both partners are emotionally available and at a mature stage of their life. After they're fully healed, of course, and prepared to put that 100% into the next relationship. But most people don't heal. Everybody already knows the right thing to do, but says fuck all that and chooses to take the easy way out. This is what I call trauma spreading. It's when a person uses something or someone else as an outlet to ease their pain and suffering from what they went through. A common example being hopping into a rebound relationship. And I get it, breakups are hard, but there's no reason to drag in this new person that has nothing to do with your past and then give them a half-assed version of yourself because you're emotionally unavailable or things still remind you of your ex. Sooner or later, your past trauma is going to bleed onto the new relationship, and now that new person is going to have a warped perception on love being hella negative. Hurt people is what they say. And if you're one of those people that wants to save them, just don't lose yourself in the process of it. At the end of the day, the broken person needs to fix themselves. Real quick, if you guys are enjoying the video, like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 50,000 subscribers. Trauma spreading also pushes out to entire groups, and another great example is the gender wars that's been going on. If you're wondering why dating in 2025 is terrible, one look into that and you'll understand why. How are we supposed to find love when we absolutely hate each other? Just because we have a PP or coochie, bro. Over the past couple of years, stories have been shared out about bad relationships with a guy and girl, and you think the story concludes with the guy or girl being immature or something, but no. Nope. The reason for that bad relationship is because they're a man or a woman.
Is this nigga serious?
And then groups are formed with people that have this resentment, and now a community is built off to jerking each other off to validate their feelings. It's sad. They're choosing to sink into the hate instead of moving past it. And the worst part is how these people are preaching, oh, all men are trash, oh, all women are trash, but they're still low-key seeking a partner. They can hate all they want, but they need love at the end of the day. So yeah, that's where we're at. Dating apps change the way we meet people. That causes us to overlook someone's character traits and gets us into relationships with people we aren't compatible with. That ends in a breakup and emotional damage that we need to heal from. But most people take the easy way out and either jump into another relationship or get into pretty much a hate group that spreads their resentment. And overall, this created a very negative environment when it comes to Gen Z dating. But there's actually one underlying problem that I would argue would be the biggest problem out of all of them. It's the negative mindset. You, who clicked on this video, probably already know that Gen Z dating is at a very bad state. You've probably gotten hurt before and feel unsure if love is even worth trying. Because being open to love also makes you open to the pain. Vulnerability is part of the process. And it's okay to feel that way. Love can be very scary, but also something very beautiful. And even though it is beautiful, we have to admit the failure rate is really fucking high. Statistics show divorce rates being hella high. We've seen dozens of couples being cheated on from social media, and this builds on the pessimistic mindset about relationships as a whole. But even after all that, you need to stay optimistic. Because even if the odds are against you when it comes to dating, you need to stay positive for the chance that it could work out. Because there's no good in looking for a relationship if you're already consumed in this mindset that dating is cooked and there's no hope in finding a partner. You're setting your next relationship up for failure if you come in with a negative mindset that it won't last. Do yourself a favor, focus on yourself, stay single until you're ready. Because I still believe that there is someone out there that is right for you, but you gotta make sure that you can be the right person for them too. Was that fire? Did I cook with that line? Alright, there's a lot of things that I didn't get into in this video, like hookup culture, stupid social media advice, whatever. So I'll touch up more on that if this video does well. So comment Costco if you made it to the end, and like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.